you stay here long enough, something's gonna kill you. Whether it's a leech, a cockroach, a car, or a monkey. You have a lot of things that you need to be aware of here in Kathmandu. This monkey is oh my god. This monkey definitely just tried to steal my backpack and then attack me. I'm not gonna lie, Kathmandu is one of the most difficult places I've ever stayed at for an extended period of time. This town is a hectic dust bowl of cacophony set amidst a backdrop of the magical Himalayas. In this video, I'm gonna share my experiences in Kathmandu and my advice for first-time travelers to this hectic and wonderful place. And I can tell you that over 5 trips here and 3 years, I have a lot to say. Most travelers to Nepal use Kathmandu as a jumping off point for trekking or visiting more scenic places like Pokhara, Chitwan, or Mustang. But no matter where you're planning to go, you'll always have to come through Kathmandu. Like many countries in this region, Nepal has a dry and a monsoon season. Daytime temperatures all year are rather temperate and humid, but during the winter, mornings and evenings are freezing. Even during the rainy season, it doesn't necessarily rain every day, and when it does, it's rarely longer than an hour or two. It's currently monsoon season in Nepal, and that means that sometimes on days like today, you go from having a clear, beautiful day to all of a sudden the whole sky turns gray, and it opens up in these somewhat torrential rains. But frankly, because we're spending the day inside today, I am so happy. I love the sound of rain and of thunderstorms, and when the rain comes, it just cools everything down and it washes away so much of the dust and the pollution that's in the air here in the Kathmandu Valley. The air quality in Kathmandu is horrendous. I've lived in Los Angeles, Chiang Mai, and Delhi, all places notorious for smog, but let me tell you, Kathmandu takes the cake for dust and air pollution. So my advice to you, bring a mask or buy one as soon as you get here. Ride-sharing apps haven't made their way yet to Kathmandu, and that means that your best bet for getting around is a taxi. But this isn't like Thailand or Indonesia where you can just, again, get a Grab or a Gojek. You've got to hail a taxi, you've got to flag one down as if it was the year 1995 in New York City. And what that means also, though, is that you have to negotiate the price because no one will turn on their meter for you. Everybody will give you an excuse. They don't have a meter, the meter's broken, whatever the case. So you've got to, again, exercise your negotiating skills. If you can negotiate in a little Nepali or Hindi, even better. But if not, you really got no other choice from getting around from one part of town to the other. The infrastructure in Nepal, if you can call it that, is the worst I have experienced anywhere in the world. There was a devastating earthquake in 2015 that made things worse, but also Kathmandu has been struggling to keep up with the pace of rapid growth for many years. Roads are often in a state of utter disrepair, and traffic is habitually and maddeningly congested. When people ask me what it's like spending time in Kathmandu, I very unironically say that it is kind of like living in the apocalypse, because this is the kind of road conditions and things that you end up having to traverse as you just want to go from place to place. So it's not the easiest place by any stretch of the imagination, and hopefully with time Nepal will rebuild and build some good roads, and then we won't have to walk in sludge. If you're coming to Kathmandu for only a couple days, then it makes a lot of sense just to stay in a hotel where everything is taken care of. But because I come here for extended periods of time, I always stay in apartments that I find on Airbnb. This particular place that I'm staying in is in a neighborhood called Maharajganj, which is kind of the diplomatic enclave area. It's very residential, there's all just homes around here, but at the same time it's only about 10 minutes taxi ride to Thamel. And then there's some restaurants nearby and other things. So I like this neighborhood. It's not my favorite. I actually prefer another neighborhood called Lazimpat that is a little bit closer to Thamel. And that's where I've been staying the last couple times that I've come here to Kathmandu. But anyway, Airbnb is really the way to go if you're staying here longer. The thing is that you'll find surprising is that compared to other places in Southeast Asia, costs in Nepal are actually higher, and the quality that you're getting is not anything that justifies the price. But, you know, that's just the situation here. So it is what it is. The one thing that I like about this place particularly is that I do have a great view of the terrace because I'm on the 3rd floor. So I see the Himalayas that surround us, and during the daytime it's a nice breeze, and especially during the monsoon we get a nice sound of rain coming as well. The only other thing that I want to mention about Nepal that drives me crazy is that it is constantly noisy. There's just noise coming at you from every possible angle. There's dogs barking, there's people yelling, selling their stuff as they go on the street, there's kids, there's just like so much noise pollution, and if you're someone like me who's very sensitive, it will probably drive you mad, so just be aware. There's not so much to say about the food in Kathmandu. Nepalis eat dal bhat twice a day, every day, but foreigners who are craving international cuisine do have options. In Kathmandu, you'll find nearly every type of food, though fresh fruits and vegetables and anything considered healthy is rare. Momos, or dumplings as we know them in the West, are also a big thing here. Alright, so we've come now for lunch, and when you come to Nepal, I think that arguably the most famous dish is momo, and that's what we've got: freshly rolled chicken momo and what they call buff momo, which is buffalo momo, buffalo meat. Traditionally you eat how? By hands, by fork, or you have no chopsticks? How do you usually eat?
Yeah, we usually eat by fork and spoon, not knife.
These have like a spicy masala kind of taste. I've been coming to Kathmandu for 3 years, and this is the very first time and very first place I've ever found that had fresh juice on the menu. So I'm enjoying this beetroot, carrot, and orange juice, and I'm really happy because I think that you need to fortify your body with as much healthy juices and antioxidants as you can get here in Kathmandu, because you are just having a huge lungful breath of dust and smog every time you go out here in the street. But to find a little place, a haven here in Maharajganj, where you can come and enjoy a Western style meal and a proper cappuccino from an Italian machine, this is the sign of Kathmandu and Nepal slowly changing. This place only opened 2 months ago from an Indian woman who came over here, fell in love with Nepal, and built this place, and you can just see how much love she's put in all the little details here.
I love to cook. Yeah. Yeah.
You're doing the menu?
Yes, I am doing the menu. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Batbitani is the main and possibly only supermarket in Kathmandu, so this isn't necessarily like a typical Western supermarket, but it does have these aisles with lots of products and lots of different things in here, though it's a lot less organized than a typical supermarket in the West. You just see things kind of like piled and piled, with not necessarily the best organization, such as behind me here, but considering for Nepal, it's actually quite organized. So we've discovered something completely new that doesn't exist anywhere but Nepal: watermelon butter.
Watermelon
So you thought
butter.
you've seen it all. We have a new thing for the California hipsters to start loving on their avocado toast.
Ew.
And also,
Avocado, that would be really
maybe
horrible.
maybe not with avocado, but also pistachio butter, and then the classic favorites: almond butter, cashew butter. When you come to Nepal, you have two options for getting a SIM. They do have places right as you're leaving the airport where you can sign up, or you can wait until you get into Thamel, the main town square. The thing is, you're going to need to bring your passport with you, a photocopy of your passport, as well as a photocopy of your Nepal visa, and then potentially as well a little passport-sized photo of you. You come here, you have options for different data packages. They're all quite cheap. The biggest one I'm seeing here is for 16 gigabytes, valid for 30 days, and that comes to 1,600 rupees, or just about $15 US. Wi-Fi in Nepal has improved a lot over the years. I mean, when I started coming here, it was pretty terrible and there were a lot of power outages and things like this. But nowadays, in most cafes, most restaurants, they have free Wi-Fi and it's pretty fast actually. Like here in my guest house, I don't have an issue streaming on Netflix through my Apple TV. So things are not so bad nowadays, luckily. Thamel is the main downtown and tourist area of Kathmandu. It's packed with shops selling handicrafts in wool, hemp, and brass, as well as trekking gear. It's also extremely noisy and hectic, so I prefer not to stay in that neighborhood. At the same time, no trip to Nepal is complete without going to Thamel at least once. It's the best place to pick up handicraft gifts for friends and family. All kinds of spiritual and religious items are here, like mala beads, singing bowls, and statues. Fixed prices aren't really a thing in Thamel, with a few rare exceptions. It's expected that you're gonna bargain, and the initial price is never the price you should pay. You should be able to easily knock off a third or more of the price and always be ready to walk away because there's a million shops all selling the same things.
Same, but this is the little gold, you know, gold.
Yeah.
That's why.
This one is also,
Silver.
but not pure silver.
Pure, 92.5. Same like this. It's pure one.
25.
Yeah, 100. You like to change right now? I change.
When you need a respite from the noise and the dust of Kathmandu, there is a little haven of peace right in the center. This place is called Garden of Dreams, and it is a lovely place to come with a manicured European style garden. It costs 400 rupees for foreigners to come here and to just walk around and enjoy the beauty of this place. And then right behind me as well, where we've just finished having our lunch and a hot toddy, is a great restaurant that is operated by the Dwarikas Group, which is a chain or a management of luxury properties here in Nepal. And again, just a great way to spend an afternoon when you need some peace and some greenery and some nature right here in the heart of Kathmandu. Despite the daily hardships and struggles of life in Kathmandu, this city is home to a proud people with a long heritage and history. Amidst the dust, noise, and broken roads are places with unique beauty worth discovering.